It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Oil Stream. Happy game day, of course, as well. Game 3, Oilers and Kings, should be a huge one tonight. If you're going to be watching on the live stream, hit us up with any questions that you have. We'll get to a few of those. And as always, The Oil Stream presented to you by our great partners at Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. I'm actually heading over to the mall after this. My parents are in town. They took the kids to Galaxyland and stuff. Probably going to get myself a Popeye's chicken sandwich for lunch, buddy. I'm not going to lie. Right down to that big, huge location, right on the corner of that major food court. Perfect. Can't get any better. And maybe you get a $5 car flag. Just $5. My kids are trying to keep track of how many car flags they see. I think we're up to about 70 cars with flags right now. Nice. And we got a couple of these we're going to throw in my wife's vehicle. So $5, not $30, not $40, not $20, $5 for the Oilers car flag at Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. Huge Oilers supporters. You see them on the broadcast and stuff. Popeye's, the official chicken provider of the Edmonton Oilers and the Oil Stream podcast. Tommy, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, Dusty. I could use some Popeyes right about now. Maybe that's my lunch option today, actually.
Hello. That sounds real nice.
A little blackened ranch. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. I'm good. All good over here. What a wild few days, and let's do it all over again. Yeah,
you'll be pregame and postgame tonight over at the Ice House. We will get to, we'll take a look at the odds for tonight's game with our partners over at CoolBet. I'll probably put together something for the Oilers game tonight, too, that you'll be able to grab there as well. And we'll get to the Boston Pizza Appetizer. If you're looking for a place to watch the game tonight, obviously Boston Pizza's all over the city. We'll get to that coming up. Let's take off that CoolBet hat, though, Tommy. What do we got? How's she looking? Okay.
Wild.
Okay. Now I feel like I've seen that hair be actually, when it's not all tight. Look at that, hey.
Look at this.
Holy smile. Wow. Actually looks kind of cool. You look like a cool dude. But I've seen this look somewhere before. Where have you seen this? I've seen it right here.
Odd.
Boom.
Oh.
There it is. Stoff's in the house. Huge fan of the Oil Stream, Bob Stoffer, so we decided to give him a little bit. This is actually a really great Photoshop. Gator Hockey on Twitter. We were talking about other members of the media in Edmonton that could pull this thing off, and I said I'd like to see Stoff do it, so he put it together. And I'll be honest, man, like, tilt your head a little bit to the right. Other way. Your left, I guess. I see the resemblance here. Like, you guys look very much alike. I wonder if Stoff had this back in the day. What's that? Is that George Clooney? It looks like Tom Cruise with a perm. It's that's wild. Anyway, had some fun there with Stoff. I think actually you look good with it. I think Stoff kind of looked good with it. Somebody else put it on Eric and I. And
how did it look?
Like shit. It did not look good at all. So maybe it's just you and Stoff, handsome men, right, that can pull that thing off. Okay, put your hat back on, Tommy. It's too distracting.
It's insane.
It's too distracting. Yeah. All right, there we go. That's better. Yeah, no, that'll be good. All right, buddy, here we go. Game 3. Kings, looks like Lizotte is going to be out for the Los Angeles Kings. Is that what we're seeing?
That's the only thing I saw from the reporters down in LA at the Kings morning skate. So, I mean, Lizotte's not I don't know if he's a difference maker. He's a good player, but...
Yeah, he's not a bad player.
Yeah, he's not a top 6 guy, but they're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to, I'm assuming, put in Anderson Dolan again. And I saw Velarde slides back over to center in the absence of Blake Lizotte. So a good bottom 6 guy. I don't, might surprise you here and there. He's feisty, he's tenacious, but we'll see what kind of difference that makes. Minimal impact, modest impact.
Does this series, Tommy, nice, from a Velarde perspective, nice to have Velarde that can slide in there and you'll be okay, and then everybody else can kind of play where they're supposed to be playing. Do you see this series, like when we watch the game tonight, will there be anything noticeably different from the games here in Edmonton?
The one thing I assume will be a little bit different, or you're going to see more of an effort from the Kings, is to actually have a good start. To get more than 2 shots in a period. I mean, I called the Oilers' first period the other night immaculate. They gave up 2 harmless shots.
Yeah.
LA didn't get its first shot till the 18-minute mark. And I think that'll probably be a focus for Todd McCollum. Get in the game.
They have to have a better start, right? I wonder if that's tough to do because of their style of play, though, right, Tommy? Like they just, I don't know if it's easy to have a good start when you're just sitting back in a 1-3-1 the whole freaking game.
They might open it up, and then the Oilers, whatever they face, be ready to counterpunch. Because if the Kings try to go out for a solid 5 to 10 minute stretch and just try to take it to the Oilers, then that's probably going to create some opportunities for Edmonton back the other way. And Edmonton's got to be able to push it and force the issue and take advantage. Because if that's LA trying to open it up a little bit to get a better start, the Oilers can handle that in general. And the Oilers can take advantage of that as well. If you're not facing a 1-3-1 holding you up every time you're trying to break it to the zone, or you have to dump and chase it. If they want to fly with you, let her run, man. Go for it. I think that would favor the Oilers, but I think there will be an emphasis on the Kings to have a way better start, more effective, because last game, that first period, I'm sorry, the Kings had nothing.
It'll be fascinating to see how this game plays out if the Kings score first. Yep. And what that does. Will the Oilers remain patient and kind of just continue to play their game with the Kings sitting back in that 1-3-1 and you wait for a power play opportunity or wait for the Kings to make a mistake, or do the Oilers change the way they play this game if the Kings do score first? I think that's one thing that's been really helpful for the Oilers is getting that first goal in both of these games, because although it's not like the Kings all of a sudden open things up, like the Kings just kept doing what they're doing. So Kings with the lead might be a little bit different, might be a little bit more dangerous for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Let's dive into your Boston Pizza Appetizer. And next Wednesday, April 26th, Westgate location. That's right on the corner of 170th, right across just north of West Edmonton Mall, in the same parking lot as Wayne's Sports Cards. And I think there used to be a Humpty's there. Remember when there was a Humpty's right there? I don't think the Humpty's is there anymore. Yeah. Anyway, there's a Boston Pizza location right there. I'm sure Lieutenant Eric will come by for some dinner. You can meet LTE. That'll be great. So we will be there live. And I've been working on getting a speaker set up so everybody in the lounge can hear us do the oil stream, as opposed to those who are just really close or trying to watch later on their phones. So you can join us. Happy hour every day from 2 to 5, and then again from 9 until close. We'll be there right for the tail end of happy hour. So I suggest rolling in like 4 o'clock to that location, pounding back a couple of quick drinks, and then sitting around and watching the oil stream. And of course, the first 10 people that come up to me and say, "Hey, Dusty, give me the goods," I'll hook you up with a beverage as well. So that'll be at the Westgate Boston Pizza location, right across from West Edmonton Mall on the corner there of 170th and the Avenue, right across from West Edmonton Mall. Very much looking forward to that. Tommy, Kane or Nuge with Connor McDavid? And I guess we'll know more when they actually hit the ice for a skate here, but we saw Kane get bumped up there a little bit. Rashaga Maiso today kind of leaned towards leaving Kane there with McDavid. I said, do you really want to do anything to mess with Draisaitl right now, considering what he's doing? And he pointed out that Draisaitl might be able to do that with everybody because he's been playing so well, and Kostin and Ryan have had success with him as well. What do you think is the wiser decision there? Basically, a flip of Nuge and Kane. Do you leave it or do you flip it?
I actually liked when he switched Kane and put him up there. Give McDavid someone to throw a little bit more weight out at the LA Kings. Maybe create some more space for McDavid. And it's not like Kane's been lighting it up either. I know he got that empty netter, but I think the move is okay. I would stick with it, see how it plays out. And, we've watched Todd McClellan handle McDavid well with strategy, but we've watched Jay Woodcroft switch up his lines pretty quickly if things aren't working out. So if it isn't working with Kane, he could flip it back to Nugent Hopkins, or he could throw someone else who's having a good game up there as well. Lots of options, but Draisaitl is just doing it on his own right now too. And if you want to try to find a way to make it a little bit easier out there for Connor McDavid, I think just with the way Evander Kane plays in his style, that might be able to unlock a little more time and space for Connor McDavid to start putting up multi-point games instead of just having 1 point through 2 games. He's had his looks. He's had his opportunities. Has he been supernova McDavid? Nope, absolutely not. But that was a hell of a pass he made to Leon Draisaitl on power play.
Great feed. Yeah.
If he's drawing penalties and the Oilers are getting onto that power play and they can take advantage like they did with the only one that they had the other night, then you're okay. But I don't mind this. And again, if it doesn't work, Dusty, Woodcroft can just switch it really quickly.
Well, yeah, like exactly. They can do that. The question I have, everything you said about Kane going McDavid be fine. Are Nuge and Yamo enough of a physical presence to play with Leon Draisaitl? Because all of a sudden your wings have gotten awfully soft alongside Draisaitl because you got all the oomph in your wingers in Hyman and Kane playing up with Connor McDavid. And I know Yamamoto tries hard, but he's not physically punishing anybody. And the Nuge, not necessarily his game. So I do wonder if remember back when that line played so well and they refused to go back to them in that series against Chicago until the very end. I wonder if the thought process back then was they're not a line that would be properly constructed for the playoffs. Because we'll see how it goes. Draisaitl's playing well enough; it might not matter. But that would be the only thing that would maybe make me hesitate to go that way.
I'm not too worried about it with Draisaitl, because one thing that's kind of popped up again with Leon is we're seeing him out there with Ryan and Kostin at times.
Yeah.
And if Jay Woodcroft wants to throw a wrinkle into the rotation for Todd McLellan, I think we might see that combination. There's a heavy winger on your left side in Klim Kostin, and I mean he's coming off a game where he played pretty well. He scored a nice goal. I thought Korpisalo could have had that one, but with the way Korpisalo
he should have had that one. Yeah, that was surprising that he didn't.
But you get Kostin moving the way he has these first two games and being physical, then that might be your answer. Maybe you get Kostin on the right side and Nugent Hopkins on the left side, or vice versa.
Okay, that's interesting,
heavier, right?
Yeah, no, that's definitely. Yeah, you could do so. I know some people have been calling for that already with the way that Kostin's played. Kostin, there was a moment there after he scored that goal where he was getting like crazy physical, and I was like, "Don't do anything stupid. Don't take a penalty right now." But when he's on the right side of that line, Tommy, and he's going, He's rare, right? Because he's physical and he got some decent hands, and there's a lot to like about the upside of Kostin if he's on the right side of that line that you have to be careful with, I think. Okay, let's get to a couple of questions. This one was brought up. And we kind of just talked about this a little bit with Yamamoto and Nuge. If they're together on a line, is it physical enough? Klim and Fogs are bringing a lot of energy. This comes in from CK Donk on Twitter. Any shot, we see them slotted into the top six for Kyler Yamamoto. And I know yesterday on Two Guys and a Goalie, Matt Cassian shot this down. He loves all the little things that Yamamoto does. And personally, for me, I would say no to this because I like Kostin and Fogle where they are. To me, it's not like, oh, no, you have to leave Yamamoto up there, because I'm still not entirely sure where Yamamoto fits in. But I don't think you want to touch Kostin or Ryan or Fogle or anybody right now. I mean, those guys know their role and they're playing it extremely well. Yeah.
And I think, too, I'll say this, even though he didn't put up any points, but I think Yamamoto actually had a decent game, too, where he was buzzing and doing all the little things right. And so with the fact that they are probably going 11-7 again tonight, and the fact that Jay Woodcroft has been going to Kostin and Ryan with Draisaitl a little bit and throwing some different looks out there
You're getting him in there anyway, right?
So I think he will have his opportunities to play with Leon Draisaitl, maybe McDavid at some point. It's more of a mishmash now with this 11-7 setup than before. So, maybe we get past the whole thinking that the lines are set in stone type of thing. They're more of a guideline than anything, it seems like, especially with the 11-7.
All right, so that's one of the questions. Let's get to a couple other ones. I think we know the answer to this. Travis from Sask. Hey, Dusty, do you think there's any chance McDavid is injured? Maybe that's affecting his production? Or do you think we can just attribute it solely to Danault? I'll just quickly chime in. I think you have to give a lot of credit to Philip Danault and Drew Doughty. I mean, they've been getting those matchups out there. I also think that a little bit of it's just bad luck. I mean, McDavid has been buzzing. Nothing's really sort of just bounced his way 5-on-5 so far. But it's funny that was brought up because took Marshall to hockey last night. One of the dads in the room was like, "Hey man, do you think McDavid's sick or something?" Like, what? And I'm just like, "No, I think the Kings are playing his line pretty well right now. I think it's only a matter of time till he gets a 2-point game. But I don't think any of what we're seeing so far is due to sickness or injury. I think the Kings are playing it well, and Connor McDavid knows that his buddy Leon's going to take care of a lot of that business. So do what you need to do and don't make any mistakes, I guess."
Yeah, Doughty played 27 minutes the other night. Like, it was just insane. And he was out there. Every one of his shifts was basically against one of those two. They have done a good job of marking him this series. They marked him very well all season long.
Yeah.
He only had 3 points in 4 games against LA. So I think that's just kind of continued. Do I expect him to finally pop off for a multi-point game? Yes. Could it be tonight? I hope so. I think so. I feel like it's likely. It's just the nature of Connor McDavid. But he has had looks. He has been around it, but he is fighting against some supreme defensive play from a couple of excellent defenders in guys like Doughty, Kopitar when he's out there. I know Kopitar has had the Draisaitl assignment more so, but these are guys that are all over him and have a bit of an equation to slowing down Connor McDavid. But I don't think he's hurt. There's nothing to suggest he's banged up. Guys, again, bumps and bruises all year long, but I don't think he's in a situation where it's bothering him that much. If anything changes and we notice anything, we'll point it out and we'll bring it up.
Certainly be passed along, that's for sure. All right, so Broberg was +2 in just over 4 minutes. Desharnais took the penalty in game 1, had that turnover that led to a goal. That should have been stopped anyway by Skinner, but a turnover that led to the goal in game 2. And, he's playing 10 minutes more than Broberg. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably going to be the split here in game 3, Tommy. I think Desharnais just needs to be a little bit quicker, basically in all facets of it, just a little bit quicker. And I think that's just that regular season to playoff bump that he's capable of, but he just hasn't got used to it yet. Is that a fair take on Desharnais?
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to flip-flop Broberg and Desharnais' minutes at all. Broberg's just in there to sprinkle in an offset a few guys, give a guy or two an extra couple of minutes of a breather. And I look back at the times he has been in of late, generally he is playing around 5 minutes when we look at his time on ice in those games. So good for him to be +2. I don't think it changes anything. And some hard lessons for Vinny Desharnais. And he's a rookie still, even at 26. And the playoffs are a step up from the end of the regular season, which is a step up from the middle of the season, which is a step up from the beginning of the season in training camp. And he's got caught a couple of times. That's going to happen, but you hope that he's a quick learner. It seems like he is. And I like after the first game where he just came out and he owned up to having a tough game 1 and having some tough moments. And then, the giveaway in game 2 that led to the Velarde goal, that's another one too. You got to get it going quicker. Maybe he wasn't comfortable with sending a outlet pass that maybe he saw as a suicide pass. I don't know, but he'll take that lesson and probably try to learn from it.
All right, let's dive into inside the numbers for our great partners over at CoolBet, a part of the Nielsen Media CoolBet Network. Stay cool, bet responsibly. Huss and I have a lock shop parlay that's already posted over there. We've hit 2 in a row, looking to make it 3 in a row tonight. We're crushing the NHL playoffs right now, Tommy. The Edmonton Oilers tonight, a -150 favorite on the road. The total in this game is set at 6.5. Connor McDavid to score a goal, a number that was just ridiculous in the regular season. Connor McDavid to score a goal is -108. I'm probably going to throw that into some sort of exclusive that'll get up for this game tonight. Leon Draisaitl to score a goal is still plus money, even though he's torching the Kings right now. That's +108. It was +118 heading into game 2, and he managed to score again. As far as player points go, let's see here. McDavid to get a point to -855. That's like, you would never bet that ever. McDavid to get 2 points for the first time in this series and against the Kings this year is still just -149. I think what my play might be here is Edmonton -150 and an under 6.5. Do you see a tight, checking, low-scoring game here, Tommy?
Same thing we saw in Edmonton. These two teams, especially their last 4 matchups, it's a battle, man, and you celebrate and enjoy the goals that do get scored, because I don't think we're going to see another 6-3 game like we did earlier in the year. I think back in January 9th was the last one.
Yeah.
We always had a bad night. I think we're going to be watching 3-2 games, basically. If it gets to 4-3, I'd be surprised.
Well, that would be good news for me if it stays under, which I think that's probably the way it's going to go tonight. Yeah, I mean, Stuart Skinner, we talked about this. Somebody asked us to rank Skinner's play on a scale of 1 to 10 on my show yesterday, and I put Skinner at about a 7. Like a passing grade for sure. And if the Oilers get 7 goaltending for most of the playoffs, Tommy, they're going to be a really tough out. I had Korpisalo at about an 8.5. So the advantage between the pipes, I think, so far has gone to Korpisalo. But I do think both goaltenders have been pretty darn steady. Yeah,
Korpisalo, I think, has been outstanding. He's made some great saves. Skinner's had nice moments as well, but it's the types of goals that have gone in on him, you're like, especially in game 2, that's kind of brought down that ranking that you gave him, 7 out of 10. I think that's pretty fair. Korpisalo, I would even push it to a 9 because he's
been that good, right? Like, yeah, he's been absolutely tremendous so far. So if you're looking to bet the Oilers game tonight, I'll have an Oilers exclusive up a little bit later on. It'll probably be called Ride with Dusty, and you can hop on that over at coolbet.com. Look, we got a few people on the live stream here. Matthew says, I just joined the live stream to see Tommy's Raymond hair, but he's repping a Cool Bet hat, sad face. Tommy's not showing off the flow. There it is. There it is.
For you.
So let's do it again. Put your hat back on. I'm going to drum roll it, and then you can take it off.
That in.
Matthew Moreau and
Matthew.
Yeah, that's here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
Boom.
Beautiful flow.
Yeah, it's wild.
I think it looks better like this than when you got it nice and tight, eh?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
I do. I think it looks like less of a perm, maybe, I guess is what I'm saying when it's like that. Yeah.
But it is, I just laugh every time I see it. I'm like, oh my God, you look like an idiot. But
there's so many people on the pregame last week or last game sitting there with you, and everybody's coming up. Tommy, where's the perm? Oh, I love it. It's good. Like, it's good. Yeah, no, the reaction's been good, buddy. Good for you.
It's been good. You know what? Yeah. Glad I did it. Good cause.
Yeah, good cause, and still pulled it off. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Oil Stream, brought to you by Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. $5 high-quality car flakes. Just go pick one up at all of your Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen locations, and be ready to join us April 26th. It's the day before my birthday, actually, Tommy, and we'll be at the Boston Pizza on 170th, right across from West Edmonton Mall. 5 o'clock start for a post-happy hour episode of the Oil Stream. Would love to have you pop by. I'll buy you a drink if you pop in and let us know that's what you're there for. Should be a pretty good time. Prediction for tonight, Tommy. What do you think happens?
I think we're going to see a 2-1 game, actually. I think
it's gonna be really tight. Well, I'm going to hammer that under then. Yeah, let's go.
I like Edmonton's chances, but, man, LA has, as much as Edmonton has built a template to beat the Kings know that if they're patient, the opportunities will be there for them to pounce and take advantage like they did in Game 1.
Oh, boy. It's going to be an interesting nail biter tonight. That should be a good time. Tommy, have your pre- and post-game on TSN 1260. Gazzola, get us out of here, buddy.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be live at the Canadian Ice House. I'll probably be there about 5:30. Come by, say hi. You can see the perm in person in all of its glory. And then
things you never thought you'd say, eh?
Yeah, my perm, evidently. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, smash the thumbs up button. And we'll see you next week.
See you later, buddy.